Hello, and this is the Retro Bear speaking to you live at Trackside, where today we are playing Sega Rally on the Xbox 360. Yes, the Xbox 360. How have I managed to do that? Well, it's rather easy, really. You buy one of these devices and you can record in high definition. Yes, hello, welcome to a brand new episode of Barely Played. I should have said that at the start, but hey, what do you do? And this is all rather exciting because, yes, it's another racing game. Never thought I'd find myself playing so many racing games that I actually own, but I do tend to be drawn to them quite easily. Yes, so we are playing Sega Rally. No, not the classic arcade game that Sega brought out in the mid-90s, nor is this the rather inferior Sega Saturn conversion. No, this is the Xbox 360 completely redesigned, revamped, rebooted version that also came out on the PlayStation 3, and if I'm very much mistaken, which I usually am, also probably came out on PC as well. And yes, it's what it is. It's Sega doing rallying, and as you can see, we're in the depth of the jungle, battling our way through, and it's very, very simple. 3 laps per track. There's sort of 3 different levels. This is the first stage. We'll be doing the first 3 tracks for this particular video. You're up against 5 other computer control cars in a field of 6, and the idea is to try and finish, well, as high up as you can. First, ideally, would be great if you can do that, and keep going. Like I said, there is 3 sorts of tracks to go through. You've got this one here and 2 others to follow, all slightly different in terms of terrain and the ability of the cars, and also other things as well, which we'll get to as we go along, that'll come to mind. And rather than me straining to think about it right now, making myself sound like a complete imbecile, we'll just carry on with this. Even down to the vehicles that you can select. I'm actually driving the Citroen Zara, which is a fine vehicle. In fact, I've played with quite a few vehicles on this game. You can have a Subaru Impreza if you wanted to do so, and some other cars that I can't remember, possibly a Ford Focus as well at the early stages. But I've always found that the Citroen for me tends to handle an awful lot better, and is much more suited to my sort of hair-raising style of driving, which is probably the best way to do it. As you can see, just literally banging off the sides and the other vehicles that are there, and causing as much havoc as I possibly can. For those who did play the original arcade game, it's not, this first track is not a bad representation of that at all. It's actually pretty good. You've got the jumps, you've got the water little features there as well. It's going through the dirt at the moment. It keeps alternating between dirt and sort of, there we go, sort of mud and dirt, I suppose would be the best way to describe it. What else have we got? Oh, we probably saw some animals there on that corner. There's some zebras and some elephants around. You may be able to hear them possibly as we go past them. And yes, so we're in the midst of trying to finish first in this particular race. Here's an interesting fact for you. I actually recorded this when I first got the capture working properly, and I did a fantastic run of this game. Only to find out that although I did record it, I forgot to alter the sound, and there was no sound on it. Which is a real shame, because this run isn't quite as good as before. Controls are very, very simple. You've got the accelerate button, and that's probably all you need to know. There's a handbrake, but I actually find it much easier to sort of use the brake and then accelerate round the corner as well to keep going. It worked much better than the handbrake did. But that's it. Automatic gears. You can have manual gears if you want to do so, if you're so inclined to do that. Obviously, keeping out of the water. That's a good idea, because that does tend to slow you down. And you can see we have taken the lead with probably about half of this first track final lap to go. Round here, look to your right, look to your left, there's elephants. There are elephants there because we're in Africa, obviously, not Dudley Zoo. No, and there's more elephants there, and some zebras. And yes, bombing away, bottom left hand corner you can see a map which will give you an idea where you are positioned. I am 1 with the orange circle around it, and across the line to win the first race of the 3. Wasn't that fantastic? There we go. So the confirmation of the victory there, and also the list of vehicles that you have available. So we've got the Citroen Zara Rallycross, we've got the Mitsubishi Lancer, the Skoda Fabia, which is I did mention the Ford Focus earlier, so that's fine and good. And obviously you get different points awarded for how high you finish. Now the next track moving on to is Canyon. And this is an interesting one. If you do watch Carl's Room 70, he played it a few weeks back with his son, and I think he won. It might be one of the few he actually did win. Now this is interesting because you go from tarmac, as you can see here, into sort of like, again, a very sort of muddy canyon sort of section with lots of water in it. Again, that's the idea to slow it down, and that really adds a bit of trickiness to this particular course. It's a great one. It is good. On the whole, this is a really, really fun game to play, and if you can find it, definitely worth investing in. For those of you who sort of been wanting to try and capture the spirit of the arcade game, you're probably best off finding yourself a Saturn and a copy of that game, because although I do enjoy this game, I have sort of spoken about this briefly on the podcast and said it's a fun game, but it's not quite the same as sort of Sega Rally. And in a way, that's absolutely right, because it's a completely different game. But as a standalone game, if it's been called anything else but Sega Rally, it probably I'd have a bit more sort of warmth towards it. Another interesting fact: I had this game on the PlayStation 3 originally, and I gave it away. Yes, the Retro Bear gave something away. And I think once I'd regretted it, then I managed to pick this up, I think, for about either 49p or 99p. You know me, it's going to be as cheap as that anyway. And I've actually sort of got quite addicted to this lately. But as I said in the previous track, the idea is to keep out of the water, because that slows you right down. With 3rd out of 6, drive through that puddle, that's a really good idea. And barge from behind. Now, again, another interesting aspect of these racing games, just keep your eye on the sky to the left-hand side. As we go up the hill here, there we go, some jets flying overhead in a style that Sig Sputnik will be thrilled of to know that was going through there. That's a really modern reference as well. Again, not using the handbrake there, I'm simply driving around that using the combination of the brake and the accelerator. I can almost see people sort of not wanting to get a lift off me anywhere, because if I drive like that in real life, then I'm going to be going a bit hard. A little bit of slowdown here. I've still got to try and iron out this capturing business, but generally speaking, it's been pretty good going, and I'm very happy with how it's turned out. So hopefully we'll be able to do a few more sort of PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Wii U sort of era generation, and capture some of those. Perhaps on some more games which don't involve sort of 4 wheels and cars, because Barely Played, the whole idea of the Barely Played series was to not, well, barely play games, but also barely playing his racing games. Anyway, so still currently in 3rd, but we're about to move up to 2nd with a quick sneaky overtake on the corner, but still quite a way behind there. You can see just in the distance there the leader is passing through. Again, I'd ask you to keep your eye on the sky as we go up the bend and round the corner, because here they come, they're going back again, and there they go. But not really making much of an inroad. In fact, if anything, we're losing a bit of time here, which is really strange, because I'm banging these corners out as quickly as possible. Always trying to make a little bit of time back here when I get onto the tarmac. He's that far in front. Flat out, doing 128 in 6th. Are we getting any closer? One thing he doesn't do, actually, he sort of give you the split to give you an idea of how far you're behind someone. That probably hasn't helped a great deal. There he goes straight to the first puddle down the bottom. Trying to put the foot down. The idea is just trying to keep out those puddles, keep going. That's better. No, that's not so good. You're almost becoming like you know, sort of skipping through these puddles. And am I actually making any time up on the guy? You know, he's not even in sight now. So fling that round the corner, fling it over. The other one there is just through there. Use the idea to try and keep left on here. Need to be an awful lot closer than I am now to have any chance of doing this one. I don't think I'm going to do it, because there's this bend here and there's this bend here. Can we get straight out off onto that one? He's probably about as far in front as he was in the first lap. On the previous lap he's just over that. I'm not making any ground on him at all, so I'm not going to catch him. Again, a little bit of slow down there, apologies for that. He's just gone round the top of the corner there. I'll just swing it round here. But again, was I any closer? Not really. I was a second and a half quicker on that lap, but it didn't seem to make any difference whatsoever. 2 seconds behind. Maybe another lap I might have got him, I don't know. But and that does appear to be sometimes the one track I just can't get to grips with for some reason. I don't know why. So we move on to track 3, which is Alpine. And again, if you played Sega Rally in the arcades, you will recognise the way this track is styled, and the whole purpose of just what this sort of track can do, and lots of tight turns and a mixture again of gravel and tarmac and some vicious handbraking required towards the very end, or in my case excessive braking and then accelerating very, very quickly, and liberal use of the sides and as many barriers and other cars as possible. And away we go. So again, 6 cars, 3 laps, and some flugelhorns I expect as well. And here we go. And again, it's a lot of practice on this game. It makes complete sense to do it. I mean, I must have put in a few hours before I got as good as this. This is probably again at the peak of my knowledge on this game. To have played it for quite, for having quite a few goes. I'm not going to hide behind the fact that this did take me quite a while to get to as sort of smooth as this has done. You might say smooth, really. But yeah, just learning all the quick corners, where to accelerate, where to brake, etc. That wasn't so clever. I've done that many times a lot better before, and you can see I've already been overtaken. Now, first really nasty bend coming up. Just take a look at the bottom left-hand corner with the map. You can see those S's there. Slam the brakes on, and then accelerate out of it to the corner. Then slam the brakes on, and then really keep it quiet. And then you've got another one here, another tight bend. Round the corner there, clip the side, and up we go. And again, probably about, that's not far off it. I've done, that's 117, that one, 116.83. I've been quicker than that before. I'm having a whale of a time just talking over this. I have a whale of a time playing it. Honestly, as I said before, if you do find this game anywhere, just pick it up. If you like racing games, it's an absolute no-brainer. For those of you expecting a bit more of sort of a nostalgic trip for Sega Rally, if you played it years and years ago, it's not the same sort of feeling. It's exactly what it is. It's an arcade racer, but it's not the Sega Rally that you would remember like I did. But it's a certainly incredibly competent game. Like I said, I think they called it anything else but Sega Rally. It might actually have sort of got a bit of a, I'd say better reputation, but it may have done a bit better than that. Nice little lead building up here, so we're coming to this very, very tight corner again. The amount of times in the first place you go straight on and slam into that barrier. But again, that's not bad through there. Let's see how we get on. This is always one that's a little bit more tricky. Yeah, I always go a bit wide there. But it's sort of steady in good stead to get up there. Little clip round the side, 106 on the time at the moment. So we've probably gone, 4 seconds, nearly 5 seconds quicker on that one. So we're into the final lap. Big swing round the corner there. Oh, crashed aside. See, this is exactly what happens. I get far too cocky, I'm enjoying myself far too much, and then all of a sudden I make a complete pig's ear of it. Then you see there, having gone 5 seconds quicker, I've now lost the lead to the car that was behind me. And I've just clipped the side there as well. I hate to think if this game had damage on it, exactly what state the car would be in. Probably a complete write-off by now. Again, another tricky corner coming up here. I've made a balls up of that as well. Where's that car behind me? Oh, perhaps he's made a balls up of it. He hasn't tried to catch me up. Oh no, there he is, right there. Look at this, wing to wing as we go round the corner. Oh no, I'll crash into the side now. There he goes, let him take the lead again. Kind of braking going up there, nose to nose, side to side. How are we going to take this one there? You can see the rubber on the road. Oh, that was well done. Can we swing it out a bit? Sort of. Yes, we avoid clipping the side. It's a slower lap though, but it's going to be victory. 2 out of 3. I've still not managed to win 3 out of 3, even though I've played this game many times since. I hope you've enjoyed that, as much fun as I did talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is Sega Rally. This is the Retro Bear saying thank you very much indeed for watching this episode of Barely Played, and we do hope to see you again very soon. Until then, it's toodaloo, and bye for now.